Hi, I'm Don. Welcome to my studio. It's nighttime here. I cleaned my table and I was about to paint this awesome Thunderjaw when I rolled the dice and an idea hit me. An idea that I will just airbrush the Thunderjaw and do washes and be done with it. Kidding aside, the Redgrass Wet Palette kinda changed how I paint miniatures. It made miniature painting more fun. Then, they sent me the new Redgrass Glass Palette. The glass palette will make me miss my beloved mixing dish. Of course, you could like DIY a glass palette before I use like a ceramic dish, and also you could use an old tile. Similar to wet palette, of course you could DIY, but I love my Redgrass. So a mixing dish or a glass palette is perfect for dry brushing, pigment work, metallic paints, because you don't want metallic paints on your wet palette. It will contaminate like the foam and the paper and stuff like that. And it's also perfect for texture paints. I actually forgot to remove like the texture paint that we did yesterday, and it hardened there overnight, but it was easy to peel off the texture paint out of the glass palette. I also kinda like did experiments last weekend. I also used the retarder medium so that I could maximize the glass palette. Also, my YouTube community kinda like know that I have mild OCD. So I was about to ask Redgrass if I could buy like a new Studio XL just for the glass palette. So out of desperation, since Redgrass accidentally sent me like the small painter light reusable paper, I cut the extra foam that came with the Studio XL wet palette into half, and then I use a chocolate case to create a new wet palette so that I could use the actual Studio XL case for the glass palette. So this semi-DIY wet palette will work because I'm using the Redgrass foam and the Redgrass paper. So I rolled the dice again, and this time I got a great idea. So I was so happy with this idea. I removed the footing that came with the glass palette, which is like the 3M round rubber footing, and placed like a double adhesive with foam underneath the glass palette. And now I like stick it to the cover of the wet palette, and it was snug and fit. Also, if you use the gray part of the wet palette case, it's kinda a little bit bigger than the glass palette. But if you use like the cover, it really fits the glass palette. So obviously, this video is perfect for people who have the wet palette already and ordered or pre-ordered the glass palette add-on. Now you don't have to use the rubber band that came with the wet palette, since the cover is now very heavy because of the glass palette. The paints on the wet palette will like become fresher, longer. I think my idea is great for Redgrass painters who have the wet palette and will have the glass palette. Now we could paint the Thunderjaw, or we could finish the Typhus, or we could finish the Void Dragon. So we'll see. That's it, we're done. I hope you liked the video. Do like, comment, subscribe, and consider joining the channel so that you'll be part of our Discord community. Saludos!